As we get started in our practice this morning, a little joy, mudita. It's Earth Day today, so you can maybe take a moment here to feel into your seat, feel into where you are grounded. Maybe wherever you have chosen to practice this morning, you can hear the birds starting to wake up around you. I love this time of year when the robins, it's like that first glimpse of sunrise, and they start telling all their friends that they made it through the night. In my years of study and practice, I've continued to come back to Earth as I think before it was a point of fascination. I think all of you know that I am a recovering accountant, is how I like to describe my work. And I think for a lot of us, we get really removed from Earth and elements and all of the natural wonder. But if you go back into your memory bank, at least for me when I was a kid, being outside was the best. Like all summer long, you couldn't keep me in the house. Like the feeling of just laying down. I don't even have memory of like ants or bees or any of those like creepy crawlies, but I have these incredible memories of just laying in the grass and looking up. There's the moisture in the grass, the texture in the grass. And along the way, like I forgot. So in the last few years, earth-based practices have really resonated with me. And if you're interested in some of the authors I am drawn to, I'm happy to share those with you separately. Robin Wall Kimmerer is one of my favorite. Braiding Sweetgrass was an epic read. For our practice today, before we go into our open awareness, I just wanted to share a reading that I had saved. And this reading is about the cultivation of compassion. So we've already gone through the Satipatthana Sutta, mindfulness, and maybe where we start to go next is the Noble Eightfold Path. This is one of the steps on the Eightfold Path. And this is about the Eightfold Path is all about right intention, right effort, all of kind of the right ways of pursuing the path that you're on. And in this reading that I'm going to share with you, it was all about cultivating compassion and loving kindness for other humans. But I'm going to change it a little bit. I'm going to change the language to focus more on Mother Earth, since today is Earth Day. Whatever you intend, whatever you plan, whatever you have a tendency toward, that will become the basis on which your mind is established. Develop meditation on compassion. For when you develop meditation on compassion, any cruelty will be abandoned. Compassion succeeds when it makes cruelty subside. So that comes to us from the suttas. And one of my teachers shares as a reflection, when loving kindness comes in contact with witnessing the suffering of others, it transforms into compassion. Compassion and cruelty are considered opposite mental states and cannot coexist in the same mind moment. When one is present, the other is absent. This is why it is so important to cultivate compassion as an intentional act, both to make it grow in its own right and to block out all cruelty. And I want to read that opening sentence again. When loving kindness comes in contact with the witnessing of suffering of others, it transforms into compassion. So let's linger on that for a moment. Again, this is loving kindness for others. Let's focus our practice, at least these first few moments, on cultivating loving kindness towards Earth. And when I think about some of the lexicon that is surrounds Earth Day, there's surrounds the green movement, whatever you want to think about it as. I think about the two extremes and finding that middle path that we come back to pretty often. Are we talking about extreme asceticism, where we starve ourselves, we go into caves, the hermitage, or we take nothing from earth, we want nothing from earth, but in doing so, we deprive ourselves of all of earth's abundance, all of her gifts, all of her food, all of her nourishment, all of her beauty. And on the other extreme, we see earth only as a resource to be extracted, to be exploited, to consume. And in that extreme, we center ourselves in the experience and we deplete earth of everything that she has to offer. And what I think is sometimes missing in the conversation about conservation or respect or loving kindness is not this extreme form of asceticism, but taking what is given freely, taking what is abundant, taking only what is needed. If any of you travel around the national parks or even a lot of state parks, there's a sign that is usually present. Take only photos, leave only footprints. And that's what I mean here. Take in the beauty of a flower. Take in the feeling of wind on your skin. Take in food and nourishment. Give back, composting, recycling. You know all of the things. I say this as a reminder to myself as well. We need to consume. We need to sustain ourselves. We need to respect. We need to recognize the suffering of Mother Earth so that we can find compassion, so that it's real for us. The compassion is not some prescription ascribed by others. It comes from deep personal respect. One more time before I let you on your way. When loving kindness comes in contact with the witnessing of suffering, witnessing the suffering of others, it transforms into compassion. Compassion and cruelty are considered opposite mental states and cannot coexist in the same mind moment. When one is present, the other is absent. This is why it is important to cultivate compassion as an intentional act, both to make it grow in its own right and to block out all cruelty. This is the noble eightfold path of right intention. So I'll leave us here in a little time and space As we started to explore last week, insight, clarity, open awareness, however you want to frame it in your mind, it can be hard, it can be scary, it can be too expansive. So if you prefer the cultivation of mindfulness, if you prefer to have focused attention, because that's what you need today, go for it. There's no meditation police. Or if you prefer to use this time to ride the wave of awareness, be open and available to everything as it arises, exists, and goes on its way. Use this time however you would like. If the mind has started to wander, you might notice the wandering. What has been pulling on attention this morning? Give yourself a little grace, a little warmth. Recognize that a fluctuation has popped in, and then you go back. for these last 5 or 6 minutes, just consider the quality of your sit. With very few exceptions, many of us don't know when our last day will be on this earth, in this body, in this life. Maybe we could consider for the rest of our practice, it's less about the length of time and more about the quality of our time. That might feel like or be experienced as the quality of your return. The condition of the mind might be busy or distracted, it might be dull, it might be sharp. The quality of your return back to focused attention or open awareness is one of loving kindness, of compassion. As our practice starts to come to a close, I'd like to invite you to consider the quality of consumption for the rest of the day. Maybe you bring a little of that spirit, take only photos, leave only footprints. Can you consume the sun, the beauty of the flowers, the wind on your skin? And when you are inevitably called to consume some kind of a resource today, whether it's your breakfast, your upcoming coffee or tea, your lunch, if you have to run to Target, think about bringing the quality, your values, your loving kindness into those purchasing decisions. And this isn't me telling you to become a hermit or an ascetic, by no means. This is a lesson for me equally. Consume with loving kindness, with compassion. Bring earth into that circle of compassion in the decision making. Consume from a place of your highest good, with gratitude for all that earth has given us. If it serves you to bring hands to heart center, you're welcome to do so as we close our practice. May the merits of this practice be of benefit to all sentient beings. And maybe we include Earth, the globe, the world. We include you. We know that the merits of this practice are of benefit to you. Ourselves, Mother Earth, and all are included in this circle of compassion. Thank you so much for your practice today. Hope you all have a beautiful Earth Day.